cramp. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to That's Football, and welcome to 6th. We are nearly 3/4 of the way through of the round of 16 knockout games, and it's the favourites' turn. Brazil will play against South Korea, and we still haven't got the what have we still haven't got? We still haven't got the we still haven't had a favourite not win. That's what I'm trying to think. I was stuttering there at the start of my stream. Might just pack it in and go home. No, we still haven't had a favourite not win. It's been very predictable so far, hasn't it? And I'm not so sure whether we're going to get I don't know whether we're going to get I don't know why we've got Brazil versus Senegal in the chat. I'll get rid of that. I wonder what people are on about. And it's in the chat as well. My God, I mean that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing that it's got Brazil, Senegal not only in the title, but in the video description as well. Crazy. Okay, not really with it today. Got cramp as well. It really hurts. Let's have a look. Yeah, the return of Neymar. Looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, the tags are right. The tags have got South Korea. Really weird. Really weird. Thanks everyone for letting me know about that one. You're welcome. You're welcome. Son with his mask on. But yeah, it's a tough game for South Korea here. I mean, the win against Portugal reserves is not the same as playing Brazil, and it is Brazil's best team, isn't it? As you look at it there, Brazil with Alisson in goal, Militao, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, Danilo, Casemiro, Paqueta, Rafinha, Neymar, Vinicius Junior, and Richarlison. I mean, that's a pretty good front three, isn't it? Rafinha, four actually. Rafinha, Neymar, Vinicius Junior, and Richarlison. It's pretty good, and interesting to see what Brazil are going to do. They know they're going to play Croatia now. That will be the first quarterfinal. Will be Brazil. Well, not we say Brazil, but the winner of this will play Croatia at 3:00 on Friday, and then the Netherlands will play Argentina at 7:00 for winner of those two plays in the semi-final. So the path to the semi-final for Brazil is looking good. You could argue that they've probably got the easiest path as the favourites. South Korea should be a formality. Croatia should be a formality, although Croatia are capable of causing Brazil problems. Hi Mark, hope you're having a good day and enjoy the game, says Joseph. Thanks for the super chat there. The Korean lineup, I mean, we can all do the Korean lineup. I suspect that you're probably trying to do this for the laugh, aren't you? Because you know I'm not going to be able to pronounce most of the names, but we'll give it a go. Kim Sung-gyu, Kim Moon-hwan, Kim Min-jae, Kim Young-won, Kim Jun-soo, Hwang In-boom, Jung Woo-young, Hwang Hee-chan, Wolves, Lee Jae-sung, Son Heung-min, and Chu Gui-sung. There we go. Players that I know, Kim Min-jae, Son, and Hwang Hee-chan are the three I know the most. And apart from that, keep out for their numbers, number 11, number 7, and number 4. But yeah, I don't know a lot about South Korea. And I don't think they're going to put up much of a fight tonight. I might be completely wrong on that, but I'm not expecting extra time. Obviously, we've got extra time in the game this afternoon. I was watching the Targaryens. Charlie and Beth did a good job again. They got the first extra time in penalties, and weren't Japan's penalties crap? I mean, you play 120 minutes to do a penalty shootout, and you take them like that. I mean, look, I know there's a lot of pressure, and these things can happen, but that's just very disappointing. Very disappointing. And, you know, my Japan top is now confined to history. Yeah, that's it's a shame. It's a shame. Evening, Ollie. Hope you're doing well. This round of 16 has been so predictable with only one good game so far, says Kinsey. What would that game be? You know what? I'm hopeful that, you know, a lot of people think Morocco might do something tomorrow. I believe maybe Switzerland, Portugal will be close, but Bellingham to Liverpool marks as Spurs for the win. I do think that Bellingham to Liverpool looks logical at the moment. I mean, I know nothing about it. I know a lot of Liverpool fans who think it will happen. Logically, it looks like there's a good relationship with Henderson and Trent for Bellingham, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. A Yanks, a stupid Fox Sports in the USA didn't show the penalties. Imagine that, watching all that game and not getting penalty shootout. And they should do best of all league tournaments, says Albero. Yeah, I mean, look, this at times, I was on the Ben Foster show today and I was saying, at times it feels like this is the tournament that you have to like, this has to be the best World Cup ever. It's rammed down your throat from every influencer and every TV station and everybody is just ramming it down your throat that this is the best tournament ever. And unfortunately, it's not. It's not. I think the group stage ended well. I think the first week of the tournament was not great. I think the second week of the group stage was good. And I think the round of 16 has been mediocre at best. You could go worse. I mean, I just don't think it's been great. Japan, Croatia was okay. England was brilliant as an English fan, but very boring in the second half. France, Poland was pretty straightforward. Argentina, Australia was interesting because it was close. And Netherlands, USA never really got going as well. So we're in desperate need of a good game. We've had getting on for 3 days now of predictable football, and I do have hope for the quarterfinals though. I mean, when you look at it, Netherlands Argentina could be a good game. England France, Spain Portugal could be on the cards as well. So the quarterfinals will hopefully redeem it, but the round of 16 has been bereft of drama, I suppose, and we all want drama. D says, why is it a bad World Cup, Mark? Because it's in an Arab country. I don't, mate. If that's your theory on why the round of 16 is not very good, that's up to you. Sounds a bit xenophobic to me. Could even be classed as racist, D. But I don't think it's fair to say that the round of 16's not been good because it's in an Arab country. I don't know. I think that's bang out of order, really, mate. I don't know what you're going on with that. No, I just think what's happened is that the favourites or the stronger nations have been too strong for the teams that. And look, can I just say this as well? As much as the group stage, the round 3 of group stage was interesting, Brazil lost but played their reserves. Portugal lost but played their reserves. France lost but played their reserves. I mean, the only game that was really good was Spain-Japan, and some people think Spain may have been keeping their eye on the draw. So all the excitement of the round of 3, the group games, most of those games were not against the strong teams, strongest teams. Now, the favourites or strong teams are putting their best teams out, and the underdogs can't lay a glove on them. And I really hope it's going to happen at some point. There's a lot of people hoping that Morocco do it tomorrow, but it's a bit worrying how favourite. The favourites are all winning. I told you all the meme is over. Japan is out, and probably so will all the other underdogs, says Antonio 19. Still got a chance. Are Switzerland underdogs against Portugal? I don't know. I'm doing a watch-along with Ricky in the studio tomorrow, actually, and he messaged me earlier saying, he thinks Switzerland might do it, but can you class them as underdogs? Australia-Denmark was a straight-up underdog win. Angus, yes, you're right. You are right. And Alazar says, Brazil are going to cruise to the semi-finals. The path couldn't be any better. So, yeah, Brazil get South Korea tonight, obviously, and then they've got Croatia in the quarterfinals. So you'd fancy Brazil to go to those semi-finals and play Argentina or Netherlands. But you know what? Maybe we will get a bit of excitement tonight. Hardest route to the final, Gray. I'd say that France and Spain and Portugal and England potentially, because if it's Spain-Portugal quarterfinal, and we know it's France-England quarterfinal, then the winners of that play each other, and then the winners of that play Brazil. So I think that you've got to win. You've got to win 3 tough games in a row, haven't you? Whereas Brazil will be favourites here. They will be favourites against Croatia. Netherlands, Argentina, I still think they're favourite. I mean, for me, if you were ranking everybody left in this tournament, how would you rank them? I would say Brazil and France, top two. I'd then go Spain, England, Portugal before I'd go Netherlands, Argentina. So on the English side and the French side, you've got 4 of the best 5 teams, in my opinion. So it's harder on that side of the draw, which is maybe... I will enjoy everyone changing their opinion on who the real underdog is when Morocco will knock out Spain tomorrow, says Ben Jr. I'm looking forward to this Spain-Morocco game tomorrow afternoon because there's a lot of people saying that this is, Morocco are going to do it. And look, we need that bit of buzz. We need that bit of excitement. 3 o'clock tomorrow, Morocco, Spain. Me and Ricky are doing that one, I think. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then it's Ronaldo against Switzerland at 7 o'clock. Can we get a shock? A Brazil-France final would be brilliant, says MJ. I think it's the most likely final at the moment, but if we get a Brazil-France final, that means we've not had any upsets. Darth says England ahead of Portugal. I'd fancy England against Portugal. We may never play them, but I'd fancy us against Portugal. The only teams I'm worried about as an Englishman are France, Brazil, and Spain. I'd fancy us against Argentina, Netherlands, and Portugal. I fancy us against France, but I think we'd be underdogs against Brazil and France and potentially Spain as well. But I'd fancy us against Portugal. Mantra fancies Korea. Thank you. Well, one thing you can say about Korea is, like Japan, they are well organised and very energetic, and they will certainly not give any ground up easy to Brazil. I don't think they're going to play like Poland did against France. I think they'll... And again, look, you know what? It's the same as ever. It's the same as Australia against Argentina. It's the same as Senegal against England. What you've got to do is get to that half an hour point and not be losing. Mr. Mulhall says, I feel South Korea might win this game tonight. Well, here's Son on the wing. Tackled by Rafinha. I don't know how many Man United fans we've got watching. We might have Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool fans watching. But how many of you are now starting to get into the Premier League mode? I was, this morning's the first morning where I've woke up and started looking, well, the Premier League's not that far away now. And I'm starting to think about who's left in the World Cup and who'll be back for the Boxing Day games. Because if any of your players play in the semi-finals, then they're going to be playing up until the 18th, 17th, if it's the 3rd and 4th place game. It's very unlikely they're going to play on Boxing Day. So a few people fancy Korea here. Mark Carter's not happy. He says, this stadium is awful. It's got a ridiculous VIP area in the main TV angle view and empty seats everywhere. The atmosphere is also having a negative impact on the tournament. Dane says, last game in this stadium, it's been dismantled and taken to Uruguay. I presume that's a joke by Dane. I mean, what are they going to do with all these stadiums? What's the legacy of this World Cup for Qatar? Are they... They'll never fill them again, will they? Hi, Mark. I've been enjoying the World Cup, says Bama. Watchalongs, keep it up, and your team. Thank you very much. Yeah, Japan did bottle it, Chich. It was just a bad selection, a bad set of penalties, isn't it? You can't do that. Danda says the stadium will actually be dismantled. It's a recyclable stadium. There you go. It's not a joke. It's made of containers and it's going to be moved. Apparently it is going to Uruguay. King Julie says Neymar's back and they've got their confidence back. Nick P says they could host an Olympic Games maybe in Qatar with all these stadiums and infrastructure. Kedup says big shout out to all the United Stand crew. The watch-alongs have been amazing. Thank you very much, mate. We got a super chat here from Hasher. He says, "Hi Mark, just got back from Qatar after my first World Cup match, Costa Rica versus Germany. Hope you enjoyed it, Hasher. Quite a good. Oh, we go. Could be 1-0 Brazil. What a goal! What a goal by Vinicius Junior to finish it like that. That is just magnificent. You know, there's so many players there. What a finish! And it's 1-0 Brazil in the first 7 minutes. And I'm afraid to say the Brazilians ain't here to. They're not here to piss about, are they? They've taken the lead 1-0 here in the first 7 minutes against Korea, and a little dance in the corner. He's done remarkably well here because the ball comes to Vinicius Junior. He's got a load of space, and you fancy the goal, but then you look at the amount of South Korean players running towards him. Bit of a dance. Don't know what they're doing here, but they're having a good time. And yeah, I'd like to see it again from behind. I think the way he places this is fantastic, and he doesn't show any pressure at all. Good build-up play by Rafinha as well. That's not what I want to see. I want to see the actual finish. So here's Rafinha. Cross comes across, takes his time. Oh, there's so many players there, isn't there, as well? It really is eye through the needle stuff. Look at this. Watch. Here we go. Look at all the players that are there. Oh, it's a delightful finish. He's got 5 South Korean players. And he finds the net. I mean, maybe the defender should do a little bit better, number 19. I think Kim Min-jae goes... I mean, they've all got it covered well. Kim Min-jae goes for the front post. The other 2 are covering that. The keeper's in his position. It's just a delightful finish. Qatar hosts the Asian Cup next year, so the stadiums will be used for that. But other than that, who knows? It says Reverse Clouds. Adrian says, I can see a 7-0 here. Well, just remember, England would be in the final before they play Brazil, so that would be enough to get Southgate another 10-year contract, even if we got battered by Brazil, wouldn't it? So the next World Cup, Neo, is in Brazil. No, it's not. It's in United States, Canada, and Mexico. Erin says it's nice to see an early goal for once. No, I disagree. I think that this tournament is in dire need of some good football, some entertainment. I mean, we've spent the last 3 days just watching favourites cruise through. Mark, my favourite player in South Korea is Kim, says Jordan. Do you think Qatar could get the Champions League final? As illogical as that sounds, Andy, never ever put anything past UEFA or FIFA. Hugo says, don't ever compare Rafinha to that fidget spinner again. I think the fidget spinner he's horribly having a pop at is Anthony, I presume. This looks like a really big mismatch. Penalty. Oh, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. Richarlison wins the penalty. This is going to be game over, I think. I mean, I think it was game over anyway. I mean, has anyone got any good topics for this game? Because this bloody World Cup's just dying at the moment. Favourite packet of crisps? Favourite Netflix box set? I'm doing both watch-alongs tomorrow, Jess, yes. Brazil have got a penalty at 1-0 up 10 minutes in. I haven't seen the replay yet. I haven't seen the replay. Neymar's going to take it. Still not seen a replay. Anyone else seen a replay yet? I haven't seen a replay. I can't comment on it. Neymar's about to take it. What was my thoughts on it? I thought it was a little bit... well, you can have a vote. Rafinha is more direct than Anthony, though, says Rojin. Penalty or not? Let us know in the chat. I'm just about to run a poll for you. Penalty, yes or no? It looked a bit soft to me, but I haven't seen the replay. And the referee was very anxious to give it. And you do wonder about that, don't you? Right, goalkeeper's gone with a very weird way of taking a penalty here. He started on one post. Oh, he's been absolutely done by a pass into the back of the net. Neymar makes it 2-0. Interesting, the goalkeeper there. He was starting on one post and then gradually started moving along. 2-0 to Brazil. 5 times world champion. Only Brazil, says Ennio. 2-0 inside 12 minutes. Class penalty by Neymar. Some people say it's not a penalty. 62% of you are saying it's not a penalty. Neymar's got 7 goals in 12 World Cup matches. And they're doing a little dance again. Here it is. It's soft. I don't think there's enough there for Richarlison to go down. But then again, a butterfly's fart is enough for Richarlison to go down. So he's felt the contact and he's gone down. But it's one of those where the defenders took a legitimate swing to kick the ball, and then the attackers come from behind and got in the way of the swing to kick the ball. And he has kicked him, but yeah, it was soft. But you can see why it's been given. The fact that VAR hasn't even said take a look at it just shows you it's soft, but it is a penalty. I don't think they can justify it. They can't go against the referee on that one. He was very, 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 very quick to give it, though. And it's a shame he was that quick to give it, because ultimately, I know a referee doesn't have the responsibility of providing an entertaining game, some would say, but they do. They do have the responsibility to provide an entertaining game. Otherwise, why do some referees let fouls go and, set a higher standard to let the game flow? Brazil are already 1-0 up and dominating, and you give a soft penalty like that. I mean, technically he's got it right, but Brazil are going to absolutely cruise their way into this quarterfinal, aren't they? And they're up for it. They're motivated. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone who's been tuning in. I'm in the studio tomorrow with Ricky to do a watch-along. Looking forward to it. My first studio watch-along. There we go. I'm sorry to shout you out, TC7, but you fell into the trap. He said the referee's job is to make it a fair game, not entertaining. If it's a foul, it's a foul. And he's done a big laughing emoji. But you've just walked into my spider's web trap straight away, because If the referee's job is just to make it a fair game and be a robot referee, why do some referees let games go in the first 20 minutes? Why do they not call fouls or give yellow cards out because they want to get the game flowing? Is that not the clearest indicator that those referees are trying to make the game entertaining? So I disagree with you. I think some referees do have an eye on, the game flowing and being an entertaining game. Callisto, thank you very much for the super chat there. Did you think it was a penalty, Mark? I can see why the referee's given it, but he couldn't get his whistle out quick enough. He was just absolutely. My issue with it is it's never going to get overturned once he's given it, and it is soft, but it's a penalty. I would agree with that. Oh my Christ! What a shot! That would have been one of the goals of the tournament. Brilliant save by Alisson, and out of nothing, South Korean shoots there. It's got a lovely dip on it. He's miles out when he hits it, Chang, and Alisson makes a very good save. Wish that had gone in. Mark, who had the easier round of 16 matchup? Argentina getting Australia or Brazil getting South Korea, says Jordan. Another shot from distance there. I think they both had a good... I think you know what? I think everybody... I think all the big teams have had quite an easy route into the final. France, Poland, Argentina, Brazil, England, Senegal. Netherlands made light work of USA. Brazil, South Korea, they've all had relatively. I think most of them have had tougher games in the group. But going back to the penalty very quickly, my only issue with it is how quickly he gave it. Like, he was absolutely 100% convinced it was a penalty, and I'm like, for me, that's the sort of penalty you need to take a second or two to have a think about. Which makes me worry about this referee, because if he's 100% going, yeah, definite penalty on that. Well, it was soft, and there should be an element of thinking about it, but he couldn't give it quick enough. Yeah, I agree with Bryn. I think the Switzerland-Portugal game is the one that might deliver, an element of shock. I don't think it's not like Senegal beating England or Poland beating France. Switzerland beating Portugal. Switzerland are actually quite a decent team, and it wouldn't be a super shock, but well, Australia pushed Argentina right until the final whistle, so I wouldn't say they had it easy, says Reverse Clouds. Oh, mate, did you watch the game, though? Argentina should have won that 5-6. They had so many chances in that second half. And yeah, right, Australia did have two big chances at the end, and it could have bit Argentina on the arse, but I thought in the last 20 minutes, it looked like Argentina were trying to get back from 2-1 down, not Australia. Argentina were very wasteful. Hi Mark, what did you think of the Japan penalty today? Sleep tight. Penalties, I thought they were shite. Uh, 56% of you said it wasn't a penalty and 44% of you said it was. There we go. Thanks everyone who had a vote on that. I couldn't be a ref. Damned if you do and damned if you don't, says Regine. Hi Mark, hope you're having a lovely day, says SD. Thank you very much for that. Indes says quarterfinals will be where it gets good. Well, just because it's two good teams playing against each other doesn't mean it's a good game. Look at Liverpool-Chelsea in the... although they weren't bad games, but just because you've got two good teams playing against each other, sometimes they can cancel each other out, or sometimes they can play a little bit pragmatic because they don't want to get knocked out. I think Argentina-Netherlands worries me a little bit. I think that one could be quite tight. England-France could be tight if England sit back and counter. Portugal, Spain, if it is that, could be a good one. Casemiro is playing very well, isn't he? He's smacking form. Simon says, do you think there'll be any any shocks tomorrow? Well, it's the last day of the round of 16 for us to get a shock. A lot of people are shouting out Morocco, so we'll see. Jordan says, Mark, when's the Christmas tree going up? It's up. Has anybody not put their tree up yet? It is the 5th of December. Bjorn says, do you think Netherlands have got a chance to win the World Cup? Well, while you're in the tournament, while you're in the tournament, you've always got a chance. But I don't think so. No, no. I mean, to get to the final, I think you're gonna have to beat Brazil. I don't think. Having watched Croatia, Japan today, I haven't seen anything in those two that makes me think that Brazil will have any problems there. Somebody just said there, Son's been underwhelming, but is it not the same problem that Lewandowski has for Poland? You can be a fantastically good footballer, but when you're a fantastically good footballer in a team that doesn't have many players that are like you, then it's very difficult. I mean, look, if you put Son in this Brazilian team, I'm sure he'd be fantastic. There'd be a lot of people saying, why is a South Korean playing for Brazil? Of course, but you know what I mean. If he was Brazilian and he was playing for Brazil, I think he'd be a fantastic player. But it's the same thing with Lewandowski, isn't it? You know, Poland, South Korea, they've got two world-class players, but they don't have the players around them. Exactly, Dougie says it. Son's got no support around him. I think it's very unfair when people have a pop at Lewandowski or Son because they're playing in teams that just don't match their ability. In this first 20 minutes, Brazil look next level. Says Tumbleweed. It's a mismatch. That's what it is. And Rob's gutted about Japan. They were very entertaining. Yeah, I agree. I wasn't happy when USA went out. I was enjoying watching them, but. Japan were the team that sort of adopted. And you know what? The sad thing is there's no dark horse of this tournament. Here's a question for you. Who's the dark horse of this tournament? Because we're going to have to pick a team from the round of 16. Unless we get Morocco tomorrow knocking Spain out or Switzerland knocking Portugal out, I don't think there is a dark horse of this tournament. There is. We'll just be picking them way before we should. A dark horse of the tournament should be hitting the quarterfinals for me. That makes you a dark horse. You think about Cameroon in Italia 90, South Korea in 2002 getting to the semi-finals. There's plenty of others, but I think the dark horse of this tournament is looking like being a team that hits the round of 16. And a lot of people are saying Morocco, but Morocco have got to get through tomorrow. If they don't, what makes Morocco more of a dark horse than Japan or USA? You've got to hit the quarterfinals. Or Australia, yeah. I think the candidates for dark horse at the moment, if there's going to be one that goes to the quarterfinal, has to be Morocco or Switzerland tomorrow. Did you hear the rumours Arsenal could go for Vinicius Jr. in the summer as he's best mates with Jesus, says Same Miassi? Yeah, you might have to find a bit of money to do it first, mate, because he's probably Real Madrid's best player. I've got a feeling Switzerland might do it tomorrow. I don't think Morocco will. England is a dark horse with these teams still in. Now, bollocks, Adastra. You're talking out your arse. How can England be dark horses when we got to the semi-final of the last tournament, we got to the final of the Euros, and we've got one of the best squads in the tournament? You're making us dark horses because Southgate's not a great coach. We are not dark horses. England should minimum be hitting the semi-finals. So I'm not having England as a dark horse. We can't suddenly pretend England are dark horses because we've beat Senegal and Wales. Carol says, is Croatia no longer a dark horse anymore? I don't think Croatia should be a dark horse. They got to the final in 2018. And let's be honest, they're getting knocked out in the quarterfinals, so that doesn't make them a dark horse, no. I think if Netherlands got to the final, that's befitting of a dark horse. But, you know, there are levels to this game. Here's Neymar. He's got a nice ball in it. Oh, he should have passed it to Vinicius Jr. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why. That's the trouble with Neymar sometimes. Messi would have played that pass. He's got a lovely run from Vinicius Jr. He can slip him in one-on-one. Are you doing United Stand news tonight? Says United 2004. I don't know whether there is any news to react to tonight, mate. Billy agrees with me. You can't call England a dark horse, and calling us that's disrespectful. You can't be a dark horse when you've got people like Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Saka, Rashford, Rice, Henderson. You know, Henderson's won the Premier League and the Champions League. Harry Kane's one of the best strikers in the world. Foden and Bellingham are two of the best young talents in the world. We're not a dark horse. We're just managed by somebody that most people think doesn't get the best out of us. So there we go. Yeah, Neymar was greedy there. Which is fine when you're 2-0 up, but in a tight game against France, if that's your big chance and he doesn't make the pass. Mark, what's your prediction for the game versus France? Also, it's my birthday tomorrow, says Leyland Plays. Happy birthday for you tomorrow, pal. My prediction for England-France is I'm actually remarkably positive about it, because I just cannot subscribe to this negative view that France are going to absolutely batter us. I can't respect that. I mean, look, France might batter us, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that France will batter England. England very rarely get battered. We will defend. I think there's every chance that if we score first in that game, we could get something out of it. Let's do a poll. Who's going to win, England or France? But this is becoming a bit of a training ground exercise for Brazil now. 2-0 lead is very, very comfortable. And unless we get a South Korea goal, it's not looking good, pal. Oh, this is goal of the tournament. That's goal of the tournament. What a goal. What a goal. What a team goal. Richarlison starts off with a bit of head tennis. 3 passes. Goal of the tournament. Absolutely magnificent by Brazil. And then they're 3-0 up after half an hour. This Brazil side is going to take some stopping. Absolutely magnificent. Watch this back. I mean, we're waiting for the replay here. Richarlison, you know, is shithousing a little bit, doing his little head tennis, but third at the World Cup. He's doing the chicken dance with the manager. And, the camaraderie, the spirit within Brazil is remarkable. And, I mean, they're taking this World Cup by storm. Here it is. Bit of head tennis. Takes it down. Lovely bit of touch. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's such a good goal. Can you tell me the name of the person who gives him the assist? Was it Paqueta or was it Casemiro? Or was it Thiago Silva? This is over. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, son. It's not looking good at all. I mean, you don't want to see South Korea getting humiliated. Nobody wants to see that. I mean, Germany was fine in 2014. Brazil, it got done by Germany, didn't it, in 2014. they don't look like a side that's going to have mercy. It's at least the thing is, as much as the game's over, at least there it is entertaining because Brazil are such a flair side. They don't start passing the ball around the back. They'll just keep going and going and going. So at least whilst it stays entertaining, it's good. It was Thiago Silva who assisted it. Andrew Fletcher makes a good point. If Portugal lose tomorrow, I think we find out who was the worst group of the tournament. Well, who was in that? Who was in that group with Portugal? South Korea, Uruguay, and was it Ghana? Yeah, it was Ghana, wasn't it? Here's Son. They might get a goal back. Good play. I mean, Alisson's made 2 good saves. That's a good save again. The angle's very difficult, but I mean, they're gonna cruise past Croatia, aren't they, Brazil? Let's be clear. They're gonna cruise past Croatia. Matthew Holman, I've got one of those and one of those for you, you cheeky get. You just said happy birthday, well done in half a century. You ageist. Ageist, I tell you. With great age comes great responsibility and experience. Hey, look, you know what? I don't want to jinx Brazil because I think this tournament, you know, I said it before the tournament started. We need a team to win the World Cup who's not from Europe. It's been 20 years. 20 years it is since we've seen a non-European team win the World Cup. 2002 in Japan. That was the last time we had a non-European team win the World Cup. We need that. You know, the world football needs a non-European winner. But look, what I will say is, who have Brazil played that are really on their level? Nobody. Same for France. Here's Rafinha. Don't let him on his left foot. Oh, that could have been a penalty as well. Lays it off. Paqueta. So, look, everyone's going to say Brazil. Casemiro with the shot. Everyone's going to say Brazil are going to cruise this, but I think France give them a game. Brazil playing good is the definition of entertaining football, says Abhishek. I'm with Oz. Here's the question. 62% of you went with France to beat England. I want to get into this. Vegnish says, I think Brazil will win against Croatia, but I think Croatia's defence is more assured. Don't think it'll be a drubbing. No, I don't. No, I don't think it'll be a drubbing, but I don't think Croatia can beat England at Brazil. I don't think they've got the firepower. Hi Mark, not spoke to you in a bit. Hope you're doing good, says Zenova. Hope you're doing well as well, mate. Hoping to be back on Twitch on Wednesday, so looking forward to that. No World Cup games on Wednesday, Thursday. First time in 2.5 weeks, so I can get back on Twitch. What was I going to say? Yeah, I want to know in the chat, who do you think can live with Brazil? Because I don't subscribe to the view that Brazil are unstoppable. No. I think you've got to be a good team full of good players. Because I look at that Brazil side. I've played the game, Jamie. I've played the game. Look, Graham, I look at that Brazil side, and I've played the game. I look at that Brazil side, and I think goalkeeper's world class. Defence is world class. Midfielder's got Casemiro in there with Paqueta. That's pretty much world class. You've got a midfield three, so you've got an attacking midfield three of Vinicius Junior, Neymar, and Rafinha. That's world class. Whatever you think about Rafinha, Vinicius Junior and Neymar are world class. And then you've got Richarlison up front, who's not world class, but he's very, very good. Their biggest weakness, Brazil, is probably Richarlison, who's having a great tournament. I mean, he plays for Spurs. You know, no offence to Spurs, but you know, he's not a world class striker. Oh God, it's 4-0. It's 4-0, people. 4-0. And some of this football is stunning. 4-0. It's we're being given South Korea are being given a footballing lesson here. Their heads are gone. You know, we thought Senegal's heads dropped when England scored yesterday. This is 4-0 before England even scored against Senegal. What minute did England score against Senegal? If Southgate brings it home, is it still Southgate, or will he be tolerated for the next 2 decades of reverse clouds? Well, I was just asking the question there. Who can live with Brazil? Because their team is immaculate from top to bottom. It's just a very, very good team with no real weakness. So I think the only team that can deal with Brazil is a team that from, you know, back to front is immaculate. And that to me puts it with that puts it in the cup. I'm with you. It's the only team that I look at from back to front and go, yeah, they've got a good team. In a very different way is France. But Brazil are the favourites. I don't think there's another team in the tournament that's going to be able to live with them, because Argentina have got their weaknesses, Netherlands have got their weaknesses, England have got weaknesses at the centre back. I think that's still we can be got at. Spain, I don't think they're clinical enough still. I think Spain's biggest problem is they still don't score enough goals. I think France is the only team that's going to stop them, really, and I think we all expected it anyway. But having seen Brazil today, there's no drop off from the group stages. They've won this game. They're going to beat Croatia and they're going to beat Argentina or Netherlands unless they have a ridiculously bad day at the office or they get a dodgy red card early on in a game. Like, they're the only things that are going to put Brazil out of the final. If they keep 11 men on the pitch and they play well, and look, they're very motivated. Pele's seriously ill. They haven't won a World Cup for 20 years. This would be the first World Cup for a lot of these players, and for some of them it's their last chance to do it. Thiago Silva, maybe Casemiro. They're motivated. They're motivated personally. The Pele thing, I can't see them dropping off. So unless there's a dodgy red card at the start of a game that, you know, handicaps them, I just can't see how Croatia, Netherlands or Argentina can lay a glove on them. And all this will do is make those teams shit themselves a little bit more. Like, Croatia's plans now are going to be, we've got to defend really, really well. Forget the attack. Why don't United players play the same for the country as they do for their country? Is it communication within the players, or what is it, says Kartik? Oh, I mean, I think if you're talking about Casemiro, Brazil, it's the samba beats, isn't it? You know, Brazil have a way of playing football, and, you know, it's learnt from a young age and continues all the way through if you play for Brazil. European football is different to Brazilian football. Thiago says, what's your thoughts on Mbappe versus Kyle Walker? If Kyle Walker was fully fit, I wouldn't have a massive concern about the pace of Mbappe. I think Kyle Walker can deal with it. But I think we saw Kyle Walker yesterday against Sarr a couple of times. I don't think he's quite at it. And Casemiro plays the same. He's just surrounded by crap, says that racing guy. Who's your favourite Brazilian player? Well, obviously, Casemiro is a big favourite because he plays for United. And I do like Neymar. But if I'm being honest, Vinicius Junior is a player I really like. I've always really liked him. Some people are saying South Korea should have had a penalty there. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We are 5 minutes away from half-time, and it's 4-0. Ivory Coast will beat Brazil, Mark. Mark my words, a sports fan. Yeah, we're all hoping out. I think Ivory Coast are a team that will do well in this tournament when they finally do play. We've been waiting for a long time. Does anyone reckon Korea will score at least once, or should I cash out my sports bet, says SNX. It's difficult in a game like this because you do often get a consolation. But Brazil looks so good defensively. I think people like Alisson, Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, they're driven by the clean sheet as much as the attackers are by the goals. Casemiro was constantly one of the best for United. He just has better players around him, says Antonio. I agree with you on that one. We're only 100 subscribers away from 854,000, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're doing all the World Cup watch-alongs on this channel. And tomorrow you're in for a treat because I am doing it by public demand in the studio with Ricky for Spain-Morocco. We're hoping that we're going to get this shock that everybody is talking about. So let's wait and see if we do. It's Spain-Morocco tomorrow for us at 3 o'clock. So tune in for that. No tactics can stop the flair Brazil play with. Absolutely mesmerising, says the real Ivan. And Goldie is a proud Argentinian, always being in Brazil's shadow. Mark my words, when we play them, it'll be a bloodbath. No pretty football, says David. Well, you know what? There's two things I'm going to say here. I think Brazil are going to beat Croatia very comfortably, and we all know that, okay? Scooby-Doo! Scooby-Doo! I played the game in these. I've played the game, and I played the game in these. That's not the second thing I'm going to say. I hope that Argentina beats the Netherlands because I want Cody Gakpo to be coming to Manchester United soon, and I also would love to see Brazil-Argentina in the semi-final because if anybody's never seen Brazil-Argentina play each other, it's huge rivalry. It's like a derby on the world scene, and Brazil will be favourites and will probably win it, but it will be high octane. And also, if you want this World Cup to be remembered for anything, the atmosphere in the stadium for the Brazil and Argentina games have been the best. So if we get Brazil-Argentina semi-final, trust me, that will be something that this World Cup will be remembered for, one way or another. Whether Brazil batter them or Argentina nick it or it goes to penalties, the atmosphere in that will be amazing. So I really hope we do get Brazil-Argentina semi-final. And I wouldn't rule out Argentina doing something because it's like Everton beating Liverpool when Liverpool are, comfortably one of the best teams in the world. It can happen because it's a derby. Says I'm going to put all my money on England not beating France. I think the English lads have got belief, and I think that they will be motivated. I mean, the interesting thing in this game when you look at it is look at those stats. 60% possession for Brazil, for 40 for South Korea, 7 shots to 4, 4 shots on target, 3 on target, and yet Brazil are winning 4-0. That's not the sort of stats you'd read normally for a 4-0 win. Don't forget our stats carousel is sponsored by OneFootball. You can download that for free through the QR code in the top left-hand corner or through the link in the description. 4 goals on the shoulders of the 4 goal scorers there. Paqueta, Rafinha, Neymar and Richarlison. Could just about make the goals on their shoulders because they've scored. Yeah, links in the description for OneFootball as well. We've had no yellow cards in this game. Get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news and stats on OneFootball free. Available on all platforms as well. I don't think there's much chance of this game going to penalties. We're about to hit 45 minutes here. Yeah, I think the only team that's going to deal with Brazil or capable of dealing with Brazil is going to be France. Yeah. Nice slip. It could be 5. Why? What a shit shot that was. Why didn't he take it on his right foot? Paqueta the Prat. That should have been 5. That was probably the easiest chance of the game. Why didn't he hit it with the right? Why didn't he shoot with his right? Tries to do something stupid with his left. We're 100 subscribers away from 854,000. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Get involved with the chat. 5 minutes of added time at the end of this half. Korea did get a yellow card, by the way. It must have missed that when it went round. Son's wearing a mask because he's embarrassed. Yeah, or the fact that he's got a broken jaw. Apparently ITV's audio is out of sync. Well, listen to me. Ash says, yo, Goldbridge, what you... I think Santa's just gone past my house. Is that Santa? Mm. Are you going to have a look? Yeah. So this happens every year around our area. Basically, Santa goes round on the back of a lorry and they collect money for charity. And that's what the doorbell was for. And I heard it. Hello, everybody. It's Santa. Don't believe in you. You're not having any money. Goodbye. England will bring the tone down in the next round. Don't worry, everyone, says Ben Smith. Did you hear that? He said, oh, here's Richarlison. Heavy touch. Misses. Could have been 5. Could have been 5 right before half-time. Another save by the keeper. And really, 4-0 has been very clinical for Brazil. 5 has been a bit wasteful. And they should be 5-0 up here. How's things, says Christian? They're very well, Christian. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. If anyone's got any good polls that we can do during this game, because look, we're just being entertained by how many Brazil can score here. So I'm thinking about... I always like a good poll. I was playing a good quiz today, and it was higher or lower. So you'd go, I don't know, Gary Neville had 80-something caps for England. Did Sol Campbell have more or higher or lower? And you could play that game with you lot, but the trouble is, a load of you would cheat and Google it. I do like that player of the tournament so far. You can see Santa.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He was on top of the house.
Was he?
Yeah.
Did he wave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Right, give me 8 contenders for player of the tournament. Then we'll do that. I'm quite liking that at half time. Player of the tournament so far. Best winning team tournaments is Michael Craney. Come on, I need 8. I need 8 here. Give me 8 players. And we'll do that. I quite like the idea of that. Well, I think there's an obvious... I can think of an obvious one. I'll probably put him in. Can you put Neymar in? Do you have any Christmas traditions from childhood you now do with your kids? Says Treble Champ. That just sounds wrong. I think you've got to put him in as well. Yeah. Okay, I've got 3 so far. Out of the top 4 scorers, who will win the Golden Boots is Christian Carpenter. I will discuss that. Let's put him in as well. I've got 4. I need another 4. Harry Kane, you're having a bloody laugh. Haaland can't be there. Mbappe we've got already. Brazil won't do this to Argentina. They play licky, says Matt. I've already got Messi. Richarlison, I've already got him. Okay, this name's come up a lot, so we'll do it. We all know in our hearts that Maguire is the best, says Ben. He is in there. Maguire's in there. I feel that I have to put him in. I'm going to put him in as well. I think he's been very good. Right, I need one more. I'm just looking in the chat. Yeah, I do quite like him. Okay, we're going to go with that person as well. Do we need to change it? No, we've got our 8. We've got our 8. And if there's anybody that really people feel should have got a chance, they can always have a run off afterwards. Brazil leading here comfortably. It's 4-0 at half time. It really could be 5. They've absolutely dominated South Korea, who've been toothless up front. But look, Brazil look very good. You could almost send Croatia home now. I know that sounds unfair, but this tournament has become very predictable in the last few days. I'm not saying it's not been entertaining, because as an England fan, it was great to beat Senegal. And Brazil are always, a fascinating team to watch. But the tournament has become very predictable, and you can almost predict that Brazil are going to be in the final. I think this side of the draw, we just hope that it's Argentina-Brazil semi-final, because I can't see anybody stopping Brazil. On the other side of the draw, I think it's a little bit more interesting. I wouldn't write England off, and you never know with Portugal, Spain still in that side as well. But we're going to do player of the tournament so far. I'm looking forward to this. I like a good poll where you vote for it. Let's join in the halftime debate. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. We're very close. We're only 100 away from 580. Well, I don't know what we are, actually. I'll be looking in a minute. I'm not looking. Right, let me do that. Let me come back to here. 854,000. We're only 100 away. So bottom right-hand corner to do that. Thank you very much for the super chats. We've got one here from Marketing James. In terms of ability, who's better, Pogba or Bellingham? Bellingham's better than Pogba was at 19. I'll take anyone on that. I'll die on that hill. Bellingham is better than Pogba was at 19. 100%. Pogba was fantastic at Juventus and he was scoring some good goals, but Bellingham is doing more at 19 and has done more between 16 and 19 than Pogba did. Different players, but Pogba had more flair, but Bellingham, I think his all-round game is better, in my opinion. Right, let's do player of the tournament so far. So let me just get this set up. Player of the tournament so far. Right. This first one it's not for banter. It's not for laughs. It's because you said he should be in it. So it's Mbappe against Maguire in the player of the tournament so far. You lot asked for Maguire to be in it. If Maguire's in it, he's got to come up against Mbappe at some point. So Mbappe or Maguire for player of the tournament so far. Get your votes in. People are laughing. I don't know why you're laughing. You asked for him to be there. 1 assist and Bellingham is the new Rooney. England fans never learn, do we? Says treble champ. Well, I don't think it's about. Look, you're right. You're right. There'll be some people who've got no idea about football who are jumping on the Bellingham bandwagon. But for people like us who've been watching football for a long time, Bellingham's not a surprise. He's a player that Liverpool have wanted for a very long time. United fans have wanted for a very long time. It's well known that he's a very, very, very talented player. Yeah. It's closer than I thought it was going to be for Maguire and Mbappe for player of the tournament so far. Wet says, I'd like pundit commentator World Cup. McCoy would start as favourite. Drury next with Souness, Keane, Dark Horse and Lineker with an early exit. Says, you know what? If I could say thank you to you for many things, and the list is endless. This community, that we've built, the support you give to what we've done across this World Cup and what we do on this channel is immense. I think we've built something really, really. I wouldn't keep coming back and doing it if I didn't enjoy the conversation. But one other big advantage is I only have to look at the pundits. I can't see them. I can't hear them talking. So, this has been one of the most refreshing things of my football consumption over the last 5 years is that I very, very rarely have to listen to any punditry. And most of the time when I do, I find it really shit. I was listening to BBC after the Japan-Croatia game, and Rio Ferdinand said with his mouth, "This is the best England team I've seen of my lifetime." He fucking played in Euro 96. He was part of the squad in Euro 96, which means he was old enough to remember Italia 90 and World Cup 98. And he's saying that this is the best English team of his lifetime because we've beaten Wales, Senegal and Iran. I mean, that's the sort of shit you pay your licence fee for. Absolute bullshit. The Pratt actually played in better teams than this one, and he's saying it's the best English team of the lifetime. And that's the shit you have to listen to. There's poor people learning football off these Pratts. Amazing. The poll is in Mbappe's favour, but I tell you what, Harry Maguire deserves some credit. He got 38% of the votes against Mbappe. So Mbappe goes through. Not a surprise there, but a good result for Maguire. He'll take that loss, definitely. Let's go. I think punditry in the main is shit, which is why you do notice the odd good one like Ali McCoy. You do. They do stand out because the rest of the time you're listening to shit. Right, Gakpo. We're doing player of the tournament so far. This is our second quarterfinal. It's Cody Gakpo against the player I think has been magnificent this season, and many people have probably written off. Griezmann. Cody Gakpo against Griezmann. And I do think Griezmann's been a fundamental part of that French team at number 10 this season. This World Cup. Really, really good. SP says Ferdinand might have had too many headers to speak sense. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. This is the best England team he's seen of his lifetime. Was in the Euro 96 squad. Was probably in 98 squad. Was in the World Cup 2002 squad. Would have been old enough to see Italia 90. And this team, which is only in the quarterfinals, is the best team he's ever seen of England. Based on what? We've not even had a good 90 minutes yet. Brazil, great team, but the celebrations are so bad. I'd run over and get a straight red for taking that huddle out, says Brian. Oof, angry Brian. Angry. Who would you take, Foden or Saka? Obviously both amazing players, but hard to decide outside of the World Cup too. Always wondered your opinion on it, says Edward Steele. I'm a massive fan of Saka. I think his response to the Euros and that penalty miss have been consistently fantastic for the last 18 months. On the other hand, I think Phil Foden is a remarkable player to be produced by England. We don't produce many players that are that technically gifted. It's a tough one. So I'd define it by what I think United need more. And I think Saka would suit Man United more. But yeah, in many ways, I want to say Foden as well. I personally think Gakpo's a bit overrated. Griezmann is definitely better in my opinion, says Antonio 19. Yep, so Gakpo got 68% of the vote and Griezmann got 32%. I would have disagreed. I would have given that Griezmann. I think Griezmann has been surprisingly very good in this tournament and fundamental to France, whereas Gakpo, I like Gakpo and I want him at Man United, but I don't think he was that good in the. I don't think he's been amazing. Centre backs combined for Richarlison goal equals class, says Daniel. So our third quarter final is going to be Lionel Messi against Bellingham. What are we thinking? What are we thinking on that? Mark, are you saying that Rio cannot give his opinion, or does everyone have to agree with you? Says Mull. Okay, so, right, I spend a lot of my time on social media being called a nonce, a prat, an idiot, having crap football opinions. So I am not going to sit here and say that well, I don't know what you want me to say. Of course, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but you can say you think it's a crap opinion. What do you want me to do? Sit there and go, oh, Rio, I think you're right. I think this is the best England team we've ever had. Well, I'm probably a little bit... I'm probably not far off being the same age as Rio Ferdinand. I can tell you for free, Italia 90 team was better. Euro 96 team was better. I'd argue 98 was better. 2002 was a better team. It just had a shit coach and a shit attitude. I think 2004 was better. Yeah, so I can think of 5 teams that are comfortably better than this 2022 World Cup England team. And also, this 2022 World Cup team could be one of the best England teams ever if it wins the World Cup. But all it's done is beat Senegal, Iran and Wales. You can't be the best England team ever for getting to the round of 6, to the quarterfinals and beating mediocre teams, can you? So yes, everyone's got a right to say that, but you've also got a right to come back at it and say, I think it's an absolute nonsense. Messi against Bellingham for player of the tournament. At the moment, it's 59% for Messi. Messi decided games on his own almost. Bellingham is good, but he's no Messi, says Antonio 19. No Messi with Messi. It looks like Bellingham is going to go out. Messi looks like he's going into the semi-final. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Has anyone got one of those... actually, I'm not going to say it because they're not sponsoring me. And I've just realised we've got 14,000 people watching. And if I say that, they're getting free publicity and it's not fair. I don't believe in it. Unless they're sponsoring us. Like OneFootball do. Links in the video description. Download it for free. OneFootball. All your breaking latest football stats and transfer news. You can download it for free in the video description. Available on all platforms. Has it come down a little bit? I think it's stabilised. Messi, I think, is going to win this. Messi wins, Bellingham goes out, and our final semi-final, our final quarter-final might be controversial. Some people might be saying such and such didn't make it through, such and such didn't make it through. Well, look, I looked at the chat and I went with the 8 players that seemed to come out the most. So our final quarter-final, looking to join Messi, Gakpo and Mbappe in the semi-final for player of the tournament so far. We've got Ziyech and we've got Richarlison. Now, this is going to upset a few people because they're going to say, where's Giroud? You know, where's Pickford? Where's Lukaku? But these are the names that came out the most to be in with the shout of it. So thank you very much for getting involved. Vardiel would have been a good shout as well. Poor old Ziyech. I mean, Ziyech's had a very good tournament, but it's just popularity contest, isn't it? It is a popularity contest. Richarlison, recency. There's an update on Vardiel. I'm going to read it you in a minute. Let me just get this timer going for the second half. And we're up and going there. So Plettigol says that Vardiel, we've been told, no release clause in his contract till 2027. Lots of top clubs informed about him for 2023. Chelsea, Man United, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Tuchel, he was the main target. Bowley also focused on him. No contact with Bayern. So there you go. Brazil with an early shot there. Richarlison has won this, by the way, 74% of the vote. The biggest quarterfinal winner puts Richarlison into the quarterfinals. Well done to him. What about Bruno Fernandes? Well, I'm happy to throw a wild card in. I'm happy to throw a wild card in, but Casemiro's got a good shout as well. We've got a... Ooh! South Korea! South Korea there, and it was Son. And I think it's a great save by Alisson again. I mean, look, people don't realise this. I had Alisson in my Premier League team of the season, and people were like, you're stupid, it should be Ramsdale, it should be Pope. Alisson for Liverpool this season has been world class. I think he's been their player of the season. And in this game alone, he's made 3 big saves. But it won't get recognised because it's Brazil are winning 4-0. But he's made 3 really good saves in this game. I'll argue this with anyone. Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this year. It's just not fashionable because it's a Liverpool goalkeeper and everyone wants to go, no, it's Pickford, it's Henderson. It's not. It's Alisson, definitely. He's world class. And this is another aspect of why Brazil are so hard to beat. Because everyone thinks about their attack, but their defence, Casemiro, Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Alisson, they're brilliant. Brilliant. Our first semi-final is going to be Mbappe. And he is going to go up against Gakpo. Can anybody beat Mbappe? I'll tell you who can. I reckon Messi can beat him, but, you know, we'll see. Am I a Liverpool fan? No. I just think I watch football. That's the whole point of that's football. I'm a Manchester United fan. That's why we have United Stand. But on here, I don't have to be biased. I can speak honestly about the massive amounts of football that I sit and watch with you and on my own. And I think, you know, I watch a lot of football. I remember watching Liverpool play Forest, and I know they lost, but the amount of saves he made in that game, brilliant. Same against Fulham. Same against Brighton. Made loads of saves. 88% of the vote for Mbappe. He's storming into the final. The interesting thing is, and I do want to talk about Golden Boot winner in a minute, who's going to win the Golden Boot, because a lot of people say it's Mbappe, but when England knock France out in the quarterfinals, there's still a lot of the tournament to go and France won't be in it. I need to end this. It's embarrassing for Gakpo. And so it should be. I mean, there's no competition there, is there? Mbappe against Gakpo. Which means our second semi-final is going to be Messi against Richarlison. There we go. Messi against Richarlison for player of the tournament so far. Do I really think England are going to beat France? Well, look, you've got to retain a bit of bias as your own country, and I think some people get very negative who just don't understand football. I do think that England have got players, man for man. Lovely ball over the top here. Good defending by South Korea, but Rafinha's there. Crap cross. I do think England have got players that can cause France problems. I think it will be closer than people think. And you've got to believe. You've got to believe. Should Rashford be in there for player of the tournament so far? Well, no, because I don't think he's played enough to get player of the tournament. I think he could have been there, but unfortunately he's back on the bench again, isn't he? Messi's a one-man team, I agree. Right, Messi's won that one, which means for player of the tournament so far, it's not a mismatch. I think it's probably about right as well. You've got Mbappe versus Messi for player of the tournament so far. Let the voting commence. And I agree with that comment from FD Paul. He says the main concern for England on Saturday is Southgate. And, the amount of people who've said to me today when I've been walking around or on the chat last night, are you going to start giving Southgate some respect? Why? Why would I go against what I believe and what many other people believe? Why would I start giving Southgate some respect? I've always said that the path to the quarterfinals is a piece of piss. And lo and behold, we're there. The tournament starts on Saturday for me. If he knocks France out, I'll give him some respect. But to be honest with you, I think our biggest weakness is Southgate. Like, our team, man for man and bench, is as good as France. So why are we underdogs, everybody? I don't think we are. I think we are underdogs, but I don't think we're going to get beat. But why are we underdogs against France? Pickford and Lloris, not a massive amount of difference between them. Mbappe, Walker, look, I think Walker can deal with him. Mbappe's world class, but I think he can. Shaw and Mbele, Shaw can deal with him. Maguire and Stones against Giroud, they should be able to deal with that. Declan Rice on Griezmann, he can deal with that. Bellingham and Henderson against Rabiot and Tchouameni, they can deal with that. Saka against Hernandez, we can deal with that. Foden against Koundé, you'd fancy that. Kane against Varane and Upamecano, you'd fancy that. There's not a lot of differentials in that. I think there's a lot of battles that we can win. And yet, we are underdogs, I admit. Why? It's because of the coach. That's what it is. The squad's very good. It's the coach that people have a worry about, really. Mbappe is the best player in the tournament and won the game on his own, plus more goals and assists. That's from Mercury. Those who say otherwise use favouritism, and it's a hard truth. On the theme of chickens, a chicken wouldn't have gone down under that challenge for the penalty, says Kenneth Tierney. Well, it's looking like Mbappe's going to win this against Messi, and it's very, very rare. Look, I'm not a massive Kyle Walker fan. I've always said he's a Leyton Orient right back with pace. But pace is an attribute. It's on a FIFA card. It's what people look at as an attribute. It might not be as important as passing, but it's there. And Kyle Walker is one of the quickest players in the world. And that, against Mbappe, will nullify one of Mbappe's many talents. So Kyle Walker can deal with Mbappe. Have you seen Irish Guys Wash and Go advert? You're in it, says Martin. Brophy. Nope. Foden and Bellingham are England's best players, says Mohammed. I'll have to give it a watch. Hayder says, good save there. Hayder says that, Vinicius Jr. should have passed. I think Giroud's a really difficult player to do. What a save by the keeper was, by the way. Let's do a combined England versus France. I like it. Let's do combined England-France. And we can do polls on this as well. Mbappe's won. Mbappe has won. Right, we're going to do this. Combined England versus France 11. We're going to do this. I like this. So Mbappe's player of the tournament, according to you. We're going to do this. It's going to be good fun. Good shout. I'm looking forward to this one. You're on fire tonight. Might be a dead rubber game now, but we've got some cracking chat going on in the chat. But before we do that, I did say I'd talk about the World Cup top scorers. So at the moment, Mbappe's top with 5. Morata's got 3. Messi's got 3. Rashford's got 3. Saka's got 3. Giroud's got 3. And I think Richarlison now has 3 as well. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. I mean, if England knock France out and Mbappe doesn't score, he stays on 5. 5 doesn't normally win you the Golden Boot. I don't. I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you this for free. If England knock France out, Mbappe don't win the Golden Boot. He'll get caught on 5 goals, and that could be Neymar. It could be Messi. It could probably be most likely. You know what? If I was a betting person, I'd go Richarlison. He's got 3 already, and he's got 3 more games and 3.5 games left to go. Yeah, Gakpo's got 3, but he ain't going to do it. He would be so lucky Orient are flying in League 2, says the man known as LFCJ. I love this community, says Jack. Yeah, we have some good chats on here. Legends, well done. The manager joining in. What the fuck is going on? Never wanted the team to fight back and shove it up them. Come on, Son. Okay. That's, okay. These Brazilian dancers have really upset some people, haven't they? So, we've got a free kick here for Brazil. Let's see what happens with this. No, deflects over the bar. I'm just watching this. Yeah, I'm just watching that advert. Who was England last manager before Southgate? Says Carol. It was Roy Hodgson. It was Roy Hodgson. It was Ronnie Pickering. It was Ronnie Pickering. I'm Ronnie Pickering. I can't believe we've only had 12 minutes of this second half. The offensive cavalry of Brazil will take all the plaudits tonight, but Casemiro has been delightful to watch. Really crucial he stays fit. Dan Kelly, can we just run an experiment? I think that is such a well-constructed tweet that I'm going to put it out there and just, I guarantee you this tweet's going to bang. Everyone keep an eye on it. Dan Kelly is the legend of the chats, and that tweet, I do this sometimes, I get a message and I think, you know what, it deserves to have a bigger audience. So let's just see how it goes. Combined 11, you forgot. France versus England. I haven't forgotten. We've got plenty of time. Oh, it was Big Sam Allardyce after Roy Hodgson. Yeah, well, I do like to forget that. I mean, you know what? That's like trusting someone you love to pop out and you say to them, "Can you go and get me a Chinese takeaway?" And they come back with a packet of crisps and a Mars bar. Sam Allardyce is England manager. Phil, it was Sam Allardyce. I mean, what? I never thought I'd see the day. This is an FA that's turned its nose up at some of the best English managers that we've ever had. You know, they didn't give the job to Brian Clough. That, you know, there's other managers that they've got rid of for various reasons, and they give the job to Sam fucking Allardyce. I mean, that's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, we are going to do combined 11. I mean, how can you love Big Sam Allardyce? I mean, his personality's likeable. His football is shite. And I know players that played for him. I know exactly what his tactics were. I know what his style of management was as well. Fucking hell. Imagine what we would have been like. I mean, rest in peace, Phil Foden, Saka, Grealish, Rashford. I mean, Rashford probably would play for the kick and run, but oh my God. Imagine what he would have done with people like Bellingham and Foden, and I mean, not to say that. I mean, I tell you what, Harry Maguire would have been all right. Harry Kane would have been all right, but bloody hell, what a mess. Right, we're going to do. We're going to go with. We're going to do combined 11 for France and England. We're going to have to start off with the keepers, aren't we? That's the way it is. We're 10 subscribers away from 854,000, by the way. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Okay, let's go with this. Well, you're going to pick the... Mark, you're setting yourself up to get humbled tomorrow, Diogo. How? England aren't playing tomorrow. Right, people are getting very anxious for the combined 11. I've probably built it up a little bit too much now. This could be 5. Lovely bit of skill. Great set. I tell you what, their keeper's played really well second half. And at the end of the first half, he's made some big saves. That was Rafinha, who's not scored. England versus France, combined 11. Let's go. So, first position. And you know what? It's easy to do this because both teams mirror each other in many ways. Both of them have play with a goalkeeper, which is great. So you've got Pickford or Lloris. Who are you going with? I'm looking forward to this. England versus France, combined 11. Make sure you smash the like on video. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. First substitution here. Militao is coming off and Dani Alves is coming on. I mean, yes, they should be making subs now. Get Fred on. Lloris has taken an early lead here. So we're doing a combined England-France 11 here. England is playing Ivory Coast tomorrow, says Ayanda. Okay. 4-3-3 is what both of them play, really, isn't it? The differential is that... France play with an attacking midfielder in Griezmann and England don't really. Here's Richarlison. He should have passed that sooner. I think Brazil have been a little bit greedy in the final third. This can happen sometimes. It's coming down a little bit, but it's still Lloris at the moment. Keep your votes coming in. Oh, no one understood. We were holding back the flood. Holding back against the...
Drop the nut on him, the prick. They're both pushing back. They're both pushing back.
I'm trying to get my lips away. What we do for the football filling, all right? Come on. You have to pull it. All right. Yeah, put it right in. Yeah, put it right in. Yeah, you've got to go. You've got to go.
Just putting a good story on my story. Me and Ben Foster going head to head. Trying to replicate the Bellingham and Henderson thing. Check it on my Instagram.
Drop the nut on him, the prick.
Me and Ben Foster trying to replicate Henderson and Bellingham on @Goldbridge Mark. Story on Insta if you're on there. Lloris has won this one. Sorry. Lloris has won that one. Let's go for the right backs. Start a poll. Who gets in the England versus France lineup? And it's Kyle Walker or Kunde. There we go. Someone just said the goalkeeper should be Mannion. Yeah, he's not the man. Who would you actually want to see manage England, says Phil Reddy. Pochettino. And hi, Mark. Do you remember Rashford versus Mbappe, says Kanya. Mark, when does the ref throw in the white towel, says Brio. And England is playing Ivory Coast tomorrow. We had that one from Iande. First off, take EO, says Brio. Well, Kyle Walker's beating Koundé. There we go. A lot of faith in Kyle Walker there. I like Koundé at right back. I know he's more of a centre back, but I like Koundé at right back, and I think in this tournament he's been better than Walker. So I'm encouraged that people are putting Walker. And then he called it. Then he said wanker. I'm encouraged that people are putting Walker in ahead of Koundé because I don't think Kyle Walker's been that good in this tournament so far. I think he's looked a bit rusty, but I'm happy. You know, if you're happy, I'm happy. We'll put Walker in at right back. He's got 61% of the vote, and it's actually going up. So there we go. Eric Ten Hag should look at Paqueta. He's only just moved to West Ham. He's not really set the world on fire at West Ham yet. Let's go left back. So we'll go Shaw and Hernandez. Get your votes in. Luke Shaw or Hernandez? Hernandez has stormed into a lead here. It's interesting how perception is everything in football, isn't it? Because I like Hernandez for France. Megs on Neymar. I like Hernandez for France, but Luke Shaw over the last month has been, actually longer than a month, last 2 months has been bloody brilliant. He's been brilliant for England and he's been brilliant for United. So I actually think it should be a little bit closer, but oh, what a save by Alisson again. You know, low key, I think Alisson might be man of the match. He's made 4 world class saves. I'm not joking. I'm going to have to put that as a tweet. He's made 4 world class saves today. That's at full stretch as well. He's had a good game. He's had a good game. I played the game. I played the game. And goalkeeper, I think it's great. Brazil looking a bit shaky at the back. Hernandez is going to win this. I can't keep it open any longer. As much as I like him, it's Hernandez. It's your vote who wins in the left-back position. Right, who are we going to go with centre-backs? So, I suppose it would be Varane against Stones as the 2 right-sided centre-backs. Varane or Stones. Hernandez is literally AC Milan. He carries our team and he's definitely top 3 left-back in the world, if not the best, says Ronan. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because his brother actually was starting, and I actually think I agree with you. I think he's better than his brother, but it wasn't him who was starting, was it? Wow, Varane has gone into 87%. I do think John Stones is a good centre back. You know, I do think Pebbles gets a bit of unfair stick. I do think he's a good centre back, but I would go Varane, of course. But I think he's a bit better than that. I think he's a bit better. I think he's a bit better than the credit he gets given. Yeah. Don't forget the watch along tomorrow afternoon. It's me and Ricky in the studio. I'm looking forward to that. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and get involved. As always. I think Ousmane Dembele has been very good, Prey, yes. Look, I can't keep that open any longer. It's an annihilation for Stones. Varane with the biggest win so far, 86%, which means the second centre-back is going to be Maguire against Upamecano. I mean, look, there'll be Arsenal fans screaming out saying it should be Saliba. Could be Kanate of Liverpool. But Upamecano is Deschamps' choice. And so Harry Maguire or Upamecano as centre-back with Varane in a combined 11 for England and France. I don't think we're going on form in the World Cup here, by the way. I think we're going on who you think. It's not a World Cup combined 11. I suppose it could be, but if it was, then Koundé should be playing at right back because Kyle Walker's not actually played that many games and has not been that good in the World Cup. So I think we're going on not just World Cup. We're going on general ability, aren't we? And Upamecano was stormed into a lead here as well. Martinelli's coming on, Arsenal fans. And Danilo's coming off. We all know what happens to Varane when you put him next to Maguire. He makes Varane look like a French Phil Jones, says Matthew Holderman. Upamecano's won this. 67% of the vote. If Brazil scored against England and danced on you would find it disrespectful, says Connor. Look, Connor, I'm not dismissing the fact that it was disrespectful that Brazil danced and went over to their manager and did some dancing as well. I'm not ignoring the fact that it's disrespectful. I've had some messages from people saying it's disrespectful, but I just didn't really take any notice of it. So I wasn't really bothered by it. Again, it's all about opinion, isn't it? It didn't rock my boat. I wasn't really bothered about it. I didn't really care. What I would say is I can't stand Richarlison's chicken dance, and if he did do it against England when we were 4-0 down, I'd probably burst a blood vessel. I'll admit that. But in this, it really didn't bother me that much. It's shithousery, isn't it? A little bit, but I don't think they were doing it to be disrespectful to South Korea. I think they were just having a bit of a laugh, bit of fun. But it didn't bother me. If it bothered you, then if it was England, I would react, definitely. I would, I know I would. Right, next one. Let's go for holding midfielder, which would be, well, not necessarily holding midfielder here. I'm going to go Rabiot and Rice. Who would you go? England versus France, combined 11. Declan Rice or Rabiot? Don't make Ricky angry tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. When two goats collide. It's like Messi and Ronaldo of the Watchalong world. Ricky and Goldbridge. 3 o'clock. Morocco versus Spain. I think Ricky will be pro Morocco as well. I think he likes an underdog. Rice has won this comfortably, by the way, over Rabiot, and I agree with that. I'm really happy that Rice has won that one because Rabiot has been very good in this World Cup, but I don't think he is really on the same page as someone like Declan Rice in the football world scene, if I'm honest. But he has had a good tournament. Tchouaméni versus Henderson. Get your vote in. Why isn't it Tchouaméni? It should be Tchouaméni against Rice. Well, no, because it's Henderson and Rice, and it's Tchouaméni and Rabiot. So that's how I've done it. Walking Fish says that Morocco versus Spain is going to be the best game this week because both teams know each other very well. You know what? I think that the first 3 days of the round of 16 have been really disappointing. I mean, we can dress this up all we like. This has been fucking boring. And England's game was boring for the neutral. It was great as an England fan, but it was boring. And Poland-France was boring. Oh, I'm glad to be silenced by that. That's a cracker. What a goal. What a goal. And whoever said, will Korea get a goal? Well, they have. And that's a goal to take home. And again, it's the second time we've seen one of these South Korean players hit the ball from far out. And I tell you what, this is a great goal because to beat Alisson from this distance ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy. I'm wondering if it's going to get ruled out because of an offside from the free kick. It shouldn't do. Oh, it deflects as well. It takes a deflection. You know the free kick, when it's taken, most of the South Korean team are offside. And it's... it won't be given as offside, but if you think about that goal... I can't remember what the goal was that got given as offside by Anthony Taylor. It's the same thing. But they've given it. 4-1. Tchouaméni has won this one. So Rice and Tchouaméni would be your midfield. There we go. This is difficult, the next one, because you've really got to do this. Because of the way Southgate lines his team up, I have to do it this way. Griezmann would have to go head-to-head with Bellingham, which I don't like because I like the way that France play, having an attacking midfielder, and I don't think Bellingham really is an attacking midfielder. So, but because of the way Southgate plays with his midfield three, with no real defined attacking midfielder, and Griezmann does play as an attacking midfielder in a midfield three, we've got to do Griezmann against Bellingham, unfortunately. And I know that the vote will go to Bellingham, but I actually prefer the way the France use their midfield three. And I'd rather play Griezmann than Bellingham ahead of Tchouaméni and Rice. I don't feel Bellingham is an attacking midfielder. I know he can do it, but imagine if you had Rice, Bellingham and Tchouaméni. It's way too defence minded, that is, for me. But Bellingham's the better player. I'd vote for Bellingham over Griezmann, but in pure system, if we're doing a combined 11, Tchouaméni, Rice and Bellingham's a little bit too defensive minded for me. I'd like to play a 10, but obviously I've got to put Bellingham against Griezmann because Southgate plays with three midfielders like that. Yeah, I agree with Zorro. Griezmann suits the system more, but Bellingham's the better player, in my mind. So Bellingham would get in. Takes us to... Well, I'll tell you what, this next one's interesting because... It probably isn't interesting, but you know what I mean. Mega John says, hello, Mark, from Midtown Manhattan, where we all gather to listen to you and never listen to Fox Sports, and we don't get Sky or ITV here. You're the best, says Mega John. Midtown Manhattan, I'd love to be there. Can't wait for this USA World Cup. Got so many offers already for the USA World Cup, and it's not even 4 years. Alisson makes another big save. I'll tell you what, you can get at this Brazilian side. It's difficult though, isn't it? It's difficult to analyse when Brazil are 4-0 up. They'd probably play a lot better if it was 1-0. Okay. Adam Gamer, I'm not going to start giving details about my child's age. I know some people are comfortable to do that, but I'm not. So, I find it a bit odd. Foden against Mbappe. Alisson's actually going to come off, I think, for Edison. No, not Edison. Who's Edison in this game then? Alisson's been subbed off with 10 minutes for Weverton. How can it be Foden versus Dembele? Dembele plays on the right-hand side and Foden plays on the left, George. At least have a little think about what you're saying. Third choice keepers come on. Well, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because when's Ederson going to get any game time then? Why would you bring your third choice keeper on? I can't see when Ederson's going to get any game time. We're not comparing Mbappe to Foden. We're doing a combined French-England. Some people haven't got a fucking clue what we're doing, are they? We've been doing it for the last 10 minutes. I can't believe for 1 minute that we've had an influx of 100 people who've just turned in the last 2 minutes. We're doing a combined England-France 11. That means that people in the same position go head-to-head. Oh, Ederson played the last game. You're right, he did. Well done. Thanks, everyone in the chat. 89% for Mbappe. Not a surprise. Poor old Phil. Right, let's do the right-hand side. So, I mean, I would like to be putting Rashford there, but obviously Saka is Southgate's starter. So it's Saka against Dembele on the right-hand side. Interesting to see if Saka can get close. It's close. We've got a close one at last. Dembele against Saka. Keep those votes coming in. I have been impressed with Dembele in this tournament, but I have been very impressed with Saka as well. Thanks everyone who's tuned in today. I know it's been a very difficult game to watch, with Brazil basically winning it in the first 10 minutes. This World Cup, we need some competition tomorrow. It can't be cruising for Spain and Portugal tomorrow, or this tournament's in real trouble. Round of 16 will have been really, really, really predictable, and you can't have a tournament that's predictable. We need entertainment. It's come down to 53%. Saka's making a comeback. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're in the studio tomorrow, Goldbridge and Ricky. I'm going to close this if it doesn't change in the next 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8. Oh, it's changed to 52%. I've got to keep it over. Keep the votes coming in. Saka or Dembele. I think both have been good in this tournament. I mean, look. Dembele is... I've always been critical of Dembele, but it's always been injury and attitude based. When he's on it, and he has been on it for a while now, he's a very, very good player. Group stage was a lot more entertaining, says Carol. I think the last few days of the group stage were entertaining, but how much of that was because the big teams were resting players and playing their reserves? I mean, when you think about it, first week of the tournament was a bit drab. We had 5 0-0s. Second week of the tournament in the group stage was decent, but how many teams were, resting players, and the underdogs took advantage? And now the round of 16 has been very predictable. It's down to 51%. I'm not going to stop it when it's changing. If you want Dembele to win, vote Dembele. You can't change an active poll that's not steadied. God. I don't know how Brazil haven't put the back in the net. I don't know how Brazil haven't put it in the back of the net for 5, by the way. Right, I'll count down 10 now because it's stabilised on 51%. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End the poll. 51% for Dembele and 49% for Saka. It was the closest one we had so far, but Dembele takes it. 2 more left to do. England versus France. Combined 11. As voted for by you, Kane and Giroud. There we go. Bally says, if people say that Giroud's better than Kane, I'm going to lose my mind. But Assel says Giroud should win it easy. Kane's done nothing, says Abdul. What's Kane done? Said somebody else. Well, Kane's got the early lead here. With 55%. I mean, Giroud's been brilliant in this tournament. I mean, of course, let's not forget, if France didn't have injuries, it would be Benzema against Kane, wouldn't it? Now, that really would be interesting because I think Benzema would win it. Another very good performance from Casemiro tonight. It's coming down again. Giroud's coming back at Kane this time. Saka came back at Dembele, but it wasn't quite able to do it. Can Giroud come back at Kane? Lee says that Kane's been playing as a CDM most of this tournament. That's not his fault. Right, Brazil are on the attack here. They've got a 4v4. It's nearly a lovely ball. Not quite. Right, stabilised on 53%. Goals speak for themselves. Definitely Giroud, says Christian. It's just come down to 52%. We'll keep it open. Keep the votes coming in. Giroud or Kane? England versus France, combined 11. Nice ball here. Martinelli needs to find the cross. He does. Hit it on the volley. Oh, it's Dani Alves. Good block. I'm doing both games tomorrow, Dylan, yeah, because I'm in the studio. Right, I'm going to count this down. Kane's on 52%. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anne said there's 7,000 of you who haven't voted. Let me just refresh this. I think Kane's done it, but let me just refresh. Live chat just needs to roll up. Okay. Mark, are you going live on the United Stand later, says Kaz. We've got a video at 9 o'clock, yes. End the poll. Kane got 52% of the vote. So, your combined England versus France 11, as voted for by you brilliant people, is as follows. Lloris in goal. Kyle Walker at right back. Varane and Upamecano centre-backs, and Hernandez as your left-back. Rice and Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Dembele, Mbappe and Kane. So 7 French players and 4 English players, them being Kyle Walker, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. So 4 to 7. Bruno says, can you do the manager? I am not doing the manager because you, Prats, will probably do Southgate just to wind me up when it's clearly Deschamps. It would be an embarrassment to Deschamps to do a poll. It would be like saying Kylian Mbappe do a poll against Lukaku. It's just irrelevant. So Yazin says, no, Griezmann is a joke. I would have put Griezmann in there on system 100%, but you voted. So there we go. I'm just going to drop a link in the chat, by the way. Let me just do it. How do I do it? I should know this. Maguire was robbed. Said somebody in there. So we've got 4 minutes added on here. I'm not doing the poll. I want to go to bed tonight with a clear mind. It will piss me off. I'm not having that stress in my head before I go to bed. I've just pinned the message at the top of the live chat. Let me just make sure it works. So if you click that message and you've got Instagram, it will take you to my Instagram page. And then if you go on my story, you will see it should work. Me and Ben Foster pissing about trying to replicate Henderson and let's see if it works. Yeah. So that's me and Ben Foster trying to replicate Bellingham and Henderson from last night, going head to head. So check it on the Instagram page. I've left the live chat. I left it at the top of the live chat. If you didn't know I was on Instagram, give us a follow as well. But it's worth having a look. Yeah, Haley Roper says, did you cash out at 4-0 or did you bank on a South Korea goal? Somebody in the first half was asking that question, whether to cash out or not. Is Ronaldo actually joining Al Nassr, says Rayan. I'd be very surprised. Why would you do a big interview to the world saying you've been disrespected by being benched for Manchester United and then a few weeks later go and play in Saudi Arabia? It's sort of acknowledging that you weren't good enough anymore. Can you play the wash and go thing?
Gary, come on. I'm Mark Goldbridge. I've got a massive magic shoot to shoot here. Nothing is happening. We're constipated. Goldbridge flying through the air like Bruce Willis with his top off. What the fuck? Come back. We're not having lunch. There's a creator stuck in here. No! Why are you not doing anything?
Who gives a shit anyway?
That is by far one of the best creative ideas I've seen.
There you go. If you've not watched that on the Mark Goldbridge channel, do check it out. The final whistle's just gone here, and the final whistle's probably just gone on my acting career. Gary's a ledge. I love the people who said no one asked. Mate, you could be in your bedroom looking at your magazines. No one asked you to watch the channel either. I never understand people like that. It's like when they reply to your tweets, no one asked, and yet you follow me and I've got my notifications on. You're exposing yourself as a prat. Did South Korea expose themselves as prats tonight? No. You know what? I've got to come back and defend South Korea a little bit here. Never in my life have I seen a team so battered, and yet I would argue that maybe, just maybe, Alisson was arguably one of the man of the match for Brazil. 53% possession's not huge. 18 shots to 8 is a lot. 9 on target to 6 is a lot. But 531 passes to 610. 86% pass accuracy to 89%. A lovely gesture from Neymar and a teammate here. I think it's Danilo with a picture of Pele. This Brazilian team is motivated. This Brazilian team is up for it, and this Brazilian team is certainly very, very, very much many people's favourites. But South Korea were not as bad as the result displays. But the issue was this game was won in the first 10 minutes, and that's the bottom line. I might do the manager poll tomorrow with Ricky, see what he says. He can back me up or go against me on Southgate against Deschamps. So we'll pick that one up tomorrow. Thanks everyone who's watching. Really, really appreciate it. We had some really good debates. Look, the World Cup needs to step up tomorrow. This round of 16 has been, in a nice way, predictable. In a horrible way, boring. It's got to step up. We know there's some good games in the quarterfinals, but we can't be waiting a week in a tournament that's 4 weeks long. We can't have 25% of the tournament boring. We need Morocco and Spain to deliver. We need Switzerland and Portugal to deliver. Because every game so far, the favourite has won, and has won pretty predictably. We need better tomorrow. Check out my Instagram story. Links in the chat, top of the chat. Thanks everyone who tuned in. I've got a video going up on United Stand in 4 minutes time, and then tomorrow's watch-alongs, it's me and Ricky at 3 in the studio. Get ready for that. We'll be very interactive as ever. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Cheers, everyone.